What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. Going beast mode when the game begin. I worked all summer to be a champion. At Venice High School, all we do is win. Man, it feel good to be an Indian.
And welcome to this week's edition of the John Peacock Coaches Show. I'm John Massoni here with Venice Indian head football coach John Peacock. And, Coach, it's been a little while since we were here at Bogey's doing the Coaches Show. Prior to us getting to this point, we were heading down to Miami to play in the state championship game, the ultimate goal for the Venice Indians in football, and anybody for that matter that plays at the game. And 7A state championship is now officially Venice Indians for this year with their 52-17 defeat of a very good Lake Mary team.
Yeah, we broke the 2-game skid in the state championship game. We came out. I thought our kids were 100% focused in the game. I thought they played pretty well. You know, we started off offensively. We started off really bad. We weren't playing very well. A lot of pre-snap penalties and just not really executing to where we should be.
Right.
But at the end of the night, you get a win. It's the final game. There's nothing else you can ask for. I mean,
doubt.
All that other stuff doesn't matter. But we ended up turning the tables about the end of the second quarter. Then the third quarter was great, and the fourth quarter we had a running clock and pulled them out.
First quarter, you guys ran 30 plays in the first quarter.
Yeah, we ran an awful lot of plays and just didn't put many points on the board.
And it seemed as though while the scoreboard didn't note it, you could see the toll it was starting to take on
Absolutely.
Lake Mary. And so then as it got to the point where we had that run of, I want to say it was 24 points in a 4-minute period.
If that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that was a sort of the avalanche of sort of that getting leaned on the entire first half, and then it all sort of came to fruition. And once the spark hit, forget
right.
that we were.
And it all started with the pass to Malachi. Malachi making a great move, making someone miss, and scoring a big touchdown. And then the defense came up and made a play with Zarkowicz with an interception.
Right.
And, Jamaros Gata Wilder played great all night long. 198 yards.
He just got to the point where he gets on a, I don't want to call it a roll because maybe it's not fair, but he gets to the point where he starts to do whatever he sees things clearer and clearer as the game goes on. It's a cut to the right, it's a jump, it's a spin, it's whatever it takes, and next thing you know, he pops out and there he is. He's running downfield.
Winston Watkins had a great game and on all facets. Played really well in the secondary for us. Returned a big punt for a touchdown. That was the start of the 4-minute scoring drive. It wasn't Malachi's. Malachi's was earlier. Winston kind of got that thing going.
Yeah, Malachi was the one who put us up another score. But then you say because the punt was sort of down the middle of the field and took just a fantastic hop, and he took advantage of it because he caught it on the run.
Well, it was a little bit windy going that way, so I think their game plan was to punt it low to stay out of the wind, which was obviously very smart. And our punter Bruno actually he does really well facing the wind. It's all about how the ball is how it turns over, and he's really consistent when he has wind in his face of getting that ball to turn over. So you'll see in the highlights him having a punt of I think 48 yards inside the 10.
Right.
That was a big punt for us.
It's like anything else. It's like a golf ball, or it's a boat sailing. Once you get that wind to kind of guide with you and you get it spinning the right way, it's going to work out fantastic. And I'm glad you brought the wind up because it was a significant part of the game. Yeah. Early on, you had Lake Mary, a very potent offense as far as passing the ball was concerned. Their number one running back was out for the game.
Well, everyone says they're a very potent offense in the passing game, and that's all we heard about all week going in. But they were no more potent than our passing game.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's where they hung their hat. It's more than like anything else. But the wind definitely was affecting some of what the things they wanted. Everybody was trying to do. And then once you sort of get used to it, then you're good. Yeah. And I don't know if they ever got kind of used to it, because once they got used to it, then we knew what was going on.
Yeah, we were off in our passing game too. I mean, the wind was a factor. It truly was. But I have heard that, it affects the Lake Mary quarterback. I said, well, it affected our quarterback too.
No doubt about it.
It affected everybody. It affected the kicking game and our kicking game as well as their kicking game. But their passing attack was no more lethal than ours.
Yeah. And speaking of that side of the ball, our defense, I thought defensive line sort of controlled the line of scrimmage.
Defensive line played great.
They were really good.
Eli had pressure all night. Ashari had pressure all night. Dylan Bryant did a great job. Cole Weatherington did a great job. I mean, and we knew going in he wasn't going to take sacks.
Right.
He was going to get
right.
rid of the ball. That's one thing we knew going in is he's going to get rid of the ball and he's not going to take sacks. I think we got to him once, had one sack. But other than that, he made some decisions where we had a chance to make a few interceptions, and we kind of didn't make those plays.
With one sack, I would probably tell you there was at least 8 or 9 legit QB pressures on him.
Oh yeah.
So he was never comfortable. He was a rhythm passer. He kind of knew where he was going. You could see his pre-snap read he knew where he was going to go based on what he saw. And then sometimes the stuff wasn't there. Like when Zarkowitz made the interception on the sideline, I don't think he expected to see a middle linebacker out in the flat, covering an 8-yard out. And I think that was like that. I think that was one of the ones like, oh, okay, this is a whole different deal.
I think we dropped 3, if not 4 interceptions.
Yes.
And I think we got 2. One was the tip. Oshari batted the ball, and Kanai made an interception, and then Zarkowicz. That was another part of the game that was, I think, was probably the play of the game.
Because then that was the one where it's like, okay, they were going to try to get in with a possession and then try to go.
Well, yeah, you could right at that point. They had a chance, like, hey, they can get into the halftime and not be so far underneath the rock. They threw that interception, and we scored 2 more times after that.
Right.
Right. So that was huge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Facilities wise, we've had different places to play. Orlando, we've played obviously in Fort Lauderdale, and then now Miami.
We've been to Gainesville,
way back in
Miami,
Tallahassee.
Tallahassee, and then Orlando,
right,
and Camping World.
I will say the size of the stadium was what I'd like to see. That was a good size of a stadium for a state championship game.
Yep.
It wasn't a venue where the fans got lost in it, sort of. So that led to a pretty good atmosphere out there. Thought the field was in pretty good shape, considering all this stuff. So I think that worked out pretty well in regards to the venue. I think the venue was a nice venue as well. And of course, little things here and there always can be improved here and there. But I thought they did a nice job. The FHSAA did with the closing ceremonies as far as how they handed out the trophies and the medals.
By far, the procedure part of it was the best that's ever been.
It wasn't just scrambled up and people running around doing whatever.
And trying to get you out, and because when used to have the 3 games in a day, they rushed you out, and then you're late getting in. That was last year.
Yeah, you're celebrating, halfway down the road, and you're like, oh, we just accomplished something, and really didn't really get to talk to everybody that I wanted to talk to.
Yeah, you didn't get to talk. Like in 21, I didn't even get a chance to address the team. Like they're doing interviews and then you're giving medals out, and then they're like, get out of here, go. And I haven't even seen all the kids. Same thing in 17.
Right.
Like you didn't even have a chance to address the team really.
And we understand sitting on a bus and waiting for somebody to finish their high fives gets a little bit tough on that team coming next.
Yeah.
But you'd like to have that moment, whatever that moment may be. So that it was definitely a very good job in the post game festivities with all that.
Yeah, there was definitely the procedure part was unbelievable. The only thing that you would want to improve on that would just be the locker room. Right, which was a tough call. And that was difficult. I'm sure they'll figure something out or get it back. So with that, we'll take a break right after that conversation, and we'll come back here, look at the highlights, because there's nothing but highlights when you win the state championship, That's right?
A fumble's a highlight for that matter, as long as you win the game. With that, we'll be back here at Bogies right after these messages.
Thank you to our 2024 sponsors, Jenkins Chevrolet, the Hupp Group, Venice Pest Control, Sarasota Ford, Tervis Tumbler, Absolute Aluminum.
Last, we'll have to thank SCF, State College of Florida, Lightning Fast Car Wash, Bogies of Venice, and Chick-fil-A in Pelican Plaza.
Education, career, future. Find yours right here at the State College of Florida. If you want a flexible schedule with classes offered on campus and online, plus several program options for in-demand fields, look no further. Create your own path today at scf.edu.
Back here with the John Peacock Coach Show at Bogies. And, of course, like I said, nothing but a highlight when you win that state championship. And I'm sure there's going to be these are the highlights that will always be reshown.
Yeah, we had some good performances in the state championship
that's
game.
give everybody an opportunity to take a look at those highlights right here.
All right, so we got the ball first. Opening, we come out using our tempo. Gator almost broke one there. I thought we started the game really fast, and that was a fourth down and 6 call,
and
he was an inch away from breaking that one. But we did end up punting that drive, even though we did convert that first 4th to 6. You see the punt I was talking about
into the wind. Right, into the wind.
Yeah, did a great job there. This is Shari batting the ball, Kanai with the interception. That was their first drive. I thought it set the tone defensively, but even though we got that, we were unable to score off that turnover. So no harm, no foul for them. We missed a
two
field goal.
opportunities inside their side
And
of the
then
field.
we got the ball back. That was a big 3rd and long. Matulovic made a great play, but again, we did not score on that drive. So we went 3 drives where we had some pretty good plays, but we were unable to score. The defense did an unbelievable job coming out ready to play and recognize that. Coach Shannon and Coach Wideline and Coach Hatler and Coach Hired did a great job, and Coach Burkle did a great job of getting these guys ready. Another great game by Malachi. I mean, just right there, just a little swing for
steady.
14 yards. And, again, Gator was just he was just on a different level all night long. I mean, he was just inches away from breaking just about every carry he had. Macho ran the ball extremely hard, made some good plays in the passing game.
He sure did.
This is, again, fourth and goal. It was more like 4th and 3 or 4 at the 10, and that's our first touchdown. That put us up 7-0. Again, defense, see Ben Zarkowicz, who had a great game, that big tackle for loss there.
He just seemed to be in the right spot, everywhere he needed to be.
And then he had the huge interception later, which we'll see. Landon Marsters made play after play after play on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, there's another tackle for him right there. But great job. Again, we didn't punt. I think we punted one time prior to this in the playoffs, and he did a great job punting the ball, with the wind, and did a great job kicking the ball. We had there's one dropped interception.
Yeah, that was the one you thought we had for sure.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where it starts to kind of turn around a little bit.
And there's like I said, Gator was just on a different level. I mean, he was hard to tackle and he ran hard, and then you get a 1-2 punch with Macho. Yeah, and then again, Winston did some really, really good things when he got the ball in his hand. You'll see right here, just making people miss. I mean, that's too easy, like 6-7 yards, just toss the ball out there.
How do you not take that?
Right, and you'll see this is a great play by Malachi when he comes up here and makes the corner miss.
Yep.
And then he's off to the races, and that put us up
14-6.
14-6, right, because they scored in between that. And I think next we kicked the field goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Another opportunity for interception. So we had opportunities.
This might be the kick. The punt return.
This is what started the scoring frenzy here. Winston does an unbelievable job of
and right there, you knew
making a play.
It was a done deal.
Yeah.
Hoping that there's no back.
I was like, gosh, every time this year he's done that,
he got a call back.
Yeah. I think he had 4 called back this year.
This is the interception, I believe, or no, it's a sack.
This is our sack we had. Yeah, you'll see we got pressure all night long with Eli and Ashari, and Gator breaks another long run here. Again, 198 yards, and he didn't play the fourth quarter.
And that might have been, you see, the end result is a field goal. But it was just barely over the crossbar. It was hit it right.
He didn't hit it right. There's the interception by Zarkowicz. I mean,
and again, that's the middle linebacker out there making that play.
Yeah, huge play for us. That gave us a chance to get the ball back. And just a great job. Ryan made some really big catches for us, big first downs. And then Gator here kind of seals the deal and puts another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, so at that point you're like, okay, this is starting to look like it's going to be a good day for us.
Start of the third quarter, Winston, another nice easy throw and catch. And they kept playing off on him, and he was just making people miss. I mean, it's we can do that. It's just like a run play, and then Macho has a nice run here.
Yeah,
just
hard
tackle,
run.
breaking tackle after tackle. You're not going to tackle that kid.
Well, you're looking at a
arm
sophomore
tackle.
doing that too. That's
Yeah.
another. And at this level, that's impressive.
Gator again. I mean, he was. I don't know how many runs were just like he just got the shoelaces caught up.
Shoelaces, yeah. And here he just kind of puts a move, and there it is. Just kind of again, going backwards if I have to. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah. So just so glad he had a good game. Way to finish it. Way to finish his career.
Again, they're giving you that, and
Yeah.
Jace was in rhythm, and he was making plays.
They were worried about getting beat all night, getting beat deep, and then, then he makes people miss, and then you get 25. 5 turns into 25 real quick, and then we got in our jumbo package, and Winnie had a great night in the jumbo package. We've been running to the right all year long, and then finally, another great play by Landon Marsters. I mean, he played great on defense. And then got Macho, got an end zone. It got called back, backed him up. Next play,
and when he goes in,
Winston goes in. I mean, you see how wide
nobody,
open that is.
They were not expecting that at all. But
offensive line was ready to play football this night. And the defense, I think they may have had one run over 4 yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you look, when you saw the rushing side of it, there wasn't much there for
John
them. Ford
got in the mix, had some good runs here at the end of the game.
So 52-17 was the final score. 4th state championship for the Venice Indian program as a whole. 3rd one for you as a coach and in your tenure. Obviously, you never lose the thirst or the hunger to keep winning or keep doing what's going on. And I think watching how this team, you always say, hey, I want to play my best game the last game. Right, because that's the one you want to be.
Yeah, you want to be your strongest physically. You want to be your strongest mentally and everything.
And when you watch it, there's always signals of that for in a game like this when you got sort of that theme is coming true, where all of a sudden wow, it seems so much easier against a really good football team to make that throw and catch.
Right.
The rhythm was right. Nobody seems to be out of sorts. Everybody's got a calmness about them, and then you see the improvement every week. The one thing I was going to bring up about that the most, though, is the defense. From game 1 to the last game, that steady improvement. I mean, a gauntlet the first 5 games. You had to play a lot of really good offensive, good football teams.
Well, to mention, when you mentioned the schedule and the teams we played, 2 teams we beat won state championships.
Right. And 2
weekend.
other ones lost in state. So there was 4 teams that were playing state championship games, 2-1. To do that. So you're there, but then you see how the defense was able to sort of get better, and you see individual guys doing things better as the year goes on, which you hope for. That unit as a whole really showed out as the season went on, and so much so that it gives you the ability as a play caller, which you are for the team. You feel like, hey, well, if I do this here. I'm not going to – if it doesn't work out, they got me. The defense is going to be able to handle it.
It makes it easier to make – 2 things make it easier to call plays. One is if you're ahead, and 2 is if you got a really good defense.
Right.
If you don't have those – if you're not – you don't have one of those 2, I mean, you're rolling the dice sometimes.
Right. Again, with the game, too, we talked about all the players that played really, really well. But, again, the other part of it, too, defense improvement, offense, you see how good they were. But special teams, again, really played a big part in that.
Yeah,
kickoffs in the end zone, field goals being made, punts when they need to be made, punt returns. You going backwards to different games that we've been a part of, is you as a head coach, me as a support system for you guys in some ways, where special teams was a difference in some games that maybe you didn't come out on the right side of things.
Absolutely.
And you see
that was I've been saying that all year long is the biggest difference between the 2024 team and the 2023 team was special teams.
Right. And so you had that little bit of extra on there that's just sort of just it's the part where the team did something well, maybe they stopped you, and then you do something on the special teams to sort of counter it. Right. It's like, oh gosh, we just did it, but now they punted it inside the 10, or we held them back, but he kicked a 51-yard field goal, or we had a good punt, but he ran it back for 60 yards, or that kind of thing, and that's just. It's sort of that emptiness. They kind of look at that dead stare and go, like, oh my God, how that happened. So again, great team effort. Obviously, great job by the coaching staff as well. I know you want to shout out your coaches about how well they played. You did a little on the highlight reel. But once again, kids were prepared, knew what they needed to do, locked in, and that comes from a lot of good coaching.
Yeah, just super happy for the kids, and especially the ones that have been through the last 2 years prior to finally accomplish that goal.
Right.
Because it's not just some people think we just show up on Friday nights and play football, and that's not the case. I mean, these kids, for example, like we started the 25 season right now. Like
right.
We're working.
Here we go.
We got 2 days in already.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not 2 easy days. I mean, every day's a work day. So we got 2 days in already, and so you got to imagine how many days those kids had in the process of really 3 years, of being disappointed.
Right.
And then finally at the end of the third year, your third try, to be able to accomplish what we've been trying to accomplish, it was so rewarding. I mean, I was more happy for everyone else. Like to me, like.
Well, you said relieved.
I was relieved for them.
Right.
For them, I was relieved for them. So, because I want them to be happy.
Right.
So I was more relieved for them. For me, like as soon as the game's over, I'm thinking about, when are we going to start our we got to get ready for next year.
Yeah, everybody got to give them a week off and some Christmas
and it's crazy
tidings, and there we go.
I've always heard people say that, and I've never, and I was like, I don't know about that. It probably, but I'm telling you, it's like right away, like, oh gosh, I'm really gonna miss this kid.
Well, it's funny though. Friends and family know what the first question after congratulations are. Who's coming back next year? Yeah. What do you mean? You got because they're already ready to looking forward to see what's going on, and you hear that you're like, okay, this is what these expectations are now.
But definitely happy for the kids, and and it looked right. Like we always talk about. And it didn't matter if it did or didn't, because it's the last game. It's a state championship. You're trying to win by 1 point or win the game.
Right.
Like I did mention, like we did not play well at all offensively to start the game, but after we settled down, it looked right. We other than the wind being a little bit of a factor and kind of hampering our passing game a little bit. I mean, it looked right. Our playmakers made plays. Gator made plays. Macho made plays. Matulovic made plays.
Malachi, yep. Everybody
Corbett
made plays.
Winston made plays. And the offensive line played their tails off. I mean, played really, really good football. And did a really nice job against what was I said this going in there. One of the underrated thing about their team was they played good defense.
Right.
They're well coached. They play good defense. And
you said they were going to be right where they should be. They look like they just came out of the weight room, and they did. There was a perfect description of what they look like, but it's just they got leaned on, and it's one of those things. It's kind of hard to hold back put your finger in the dam for only so long, and then just starts to leak through.
Definitely a really well coached team, and I thought it looked right on offense and defensively. One of our best games.
Right.
I mean, playing against a really good football team.
Sure.
I thought we had consistent pressure on the quarterback. I thought that our defensive backs were in the right place for the majority of the time. There were some things wide open that were missed, because wind being a factor.
Right.
But we missed quite a few wide open things as well.
Right. Yes.
So I thought the defense, took control of the game, and like I said, pressure on the quarterback. Ashari was consistently, rushing that passer with effort, and had a couple different pass rush moves going on. Eli was getting there in the middle. Cole Weatherington, Landon Marsters, who was all over the field making plays, and then Zark had to play the game.
Right.
I mean, absolutely play the game, change the game around. And also played very, very well inside, stopping the run.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. That's why I said when he made the play where he was at, it's like, wait, where's this guy? Where is he going to show up next? No doubt about that.
Kanai made a big play on defense.
Kisovic got better and better all the whole year.
Kisovic was awesome all year.
And so that's the thing. So you look at how everybody played, and it just culminates with a victory. And that's so you look at it and say, okay, it was right. It did look right. We got better.
Borelli and Judson, Judson did a great job for us.
And I always mention Rue in the game because Rue is a sure tackler.
Rue, They all. I'm just saying it all It looked right.
Yep.
You know, it wasn't sloppy on either side. So very, very pleased about the game.
No doubt. We'll take another break real quick, and we'll come back and talk a little bit about some of the accolades for the players and the team as well, that go beyond just the state championship, which is the culmination which you want to talk about.
Yeah.
But there's more things to talk about as well. With that, we'll take a break here from Bogies, come right back here and talk a little bit more about what awards and what kind of accolades some of the players and coaches got. Be right back after this.
Thank you to our 2024 sponsors, Jenkins Chevrolet, the Hupp Group, Venice Pest Control, Sarasota Ford, Tervis Tumbler, Absolute Aluminum.
Last, I'd like to thank SCF, State College of Florida, Lightning Fast Car Wash, Bogies of Venice, and Chick-fil-A in Pelican Plaza.
Education, career, future. Find yours right here at the State College of Florida. If you want a flexible schedule with classes offered on campus and online, plus several program options for in-demand fields, look no further. Create your own path today at scf.edu.
Back here at Bogies and John Peacock Coach Show, and accolades to Bogies, thanking them again for another season of keeping us full and us in a place to do the coaches show. So thanks to them and their whole staff. They get a groove going too after a while. You know, they know where we're coming, and they know our drink orders, they know everything else.
Our waitress was awesome all year.
Did a great job.
I think after week 2, I never had to order. I walk in and my drink's ready for me.
Right.
I mean, it was great.
It's fantastic when you have that kind of service, and they did a great job. And we always talk about how things evolve. We're here sweating in August. We're hoodies now, and it's cold out. And they're getting they're packed in for season here, so it's good for them. And this is the time they get to make the money, and hopefully we bring a little bit of something their way by doing the show here. With that, Coach, I would say one thing before we get started about accolades, and this is maybe just like a team accolade. There was a bit of a peculiar sort of setup as far as the locker room was concerned. FIU had their stuff for their home team in the home team locker room, so we had to share a locker room with Lake Mary, a partition, whatever it was. And I don't think it was a big problem. It was just But after the game was over, obviously everybody's on the field together, and there was no ill will. The teams were very sportsmanlike and everything else. But get the chance to sit there. I was with your wife and Coach Shannon's wife, and we were kind of waiting for everybody to kind of mill out. And as Lake Mary was coming out of their side of it, so was the Venice players coming out their side of it. And just no words were said, but spontaneously, the two teams, the two players would talk to each other. You know, here you're walking out and you see a guy, you're like, hey, man, good game. You see that. That's what number were you? Oh, right. I'm number 20, and I'm number 61. And, and you see, Venice is feeling good. They're getting their pizza, and everything's going to be good. And I watched them sort of talk just like, because we forget. We talk about it in college, how guys are younger. Right. But these are 14-year-old to 18-year-old kids, potentially 14-year-olds. Yeah. And they played a game middle of the afternoon in Miami, and they're going to go home and have fun with their friends, that kind of thing. And they accomplished something. But to watch the two teams discuss and be cordial to each other, watch our players be sort of sympathetic to them, saying, "Hey, you'll get one," because they had to wait for 2 years to do it. I thought it was one of the highlights of the year for me to watch how both teams responded to each other. They didn't. It wasn't a bunch of junk.
Yeah, it was kind of weird how the setup was. Like everything was set up and kind of like, everything was blocked off. But then at the end of the game, like everyone was like all together. And they were. I think our kids were giving them pizza and it's the way it should be for one.
Right.
And it's sad that there's situations where it can't be.
Right.
And it's sad, and it's kind of disgusting in some instances.
This should never be. You're in a neutral site. But in some ways, like even the idea, and I think we can, this too. The first time you go to do something like this, which was like Mary's first time to do it, you don't know what to do.
Right.
Well, your expectations are there about what's going to happen, not happen, what gate, this pass, that kind of thing. There's a lot to be said about that.
There's some stories I heard this year about, incidents that happened before, during, after games. Like it's gross and. It's sad that it takes place.
No, it shouldn't. It should be that way. So it was just I just wanted to bring that up because I was watching it, and sometimes not everybody gets the same view of that, right? And so they don't see where players from
Yeah.
both teams, there is a certain amount of respect. And I think the accomplishment of getting to a state championship is significant.
Yeah.
While it's a bitter pill to swallow when you don't win it, it's still at some point you're like, we were there.
Yeah, for
we
sure.
got there, and there's something to be said. And I think our kids recognized that from them, and they were very both. I think both teams were both respectful to each other, which I think is a cool deal. With that, accolades. Okay, let's start with you first. 7A Coach of the Year. Congratulations. and rightfully so. I think the way the year came out with the schedule that you put together, which was a gauntlet to be managed, and only have a 5-point loss to IMG as far as totality of things, really showed a lot how the team was prepared by you guys.
Yeah, it was impressive. And I always say that any award I get is really just it's a staff award. I mean, let's put
Sure.
it in. It's a staff award, and I thought our staff did a great job of getting our kids ready to play every week and getting them to finish the game every week, because it's easy to go schedule teams that aren't very good,
right,
and to rally off those type of wins. That's easy,
right.
I mean,
and I watch our coaches. They're very individual. There's no one person on that staff that's alike. A lot of head coaching experience as well, coaching in different areas of the country, but they all come together and they all know their role very well. I don't think you have to manage them in their roles.
Right. No.
And
most of them are very.
they take ownership of everything that they do, which is fantastic.
Very professional. So I mean, I think that getting them ready to play each week and going through the gauntlet that we played, and getting back, Monday, like, all right, we got to go again. We got another challenge in front of us. And it wasn't like we play a tough game and have 2 weeks off and play a tough game. It was like 6 in a row.
Here comes the next one.
And it was like every Monday, these kids are a little bit beat up. I mean, hey, we got to get ready.
There was a point where it was like when it was Bishop Verot and then Coco. Like, it's like, that guy, then you got the next guy.
That was after Miami Northwestern.
Right,
and that was after Gaston County. And that was after,
And you keep on watching, you're like, who was the best quarterback you saw? You're like, I don't know. There was 5 of them that are going to play on Saturdays. That's for sure.
So what kind of quarterback you're looking for?
Exactly right. So as far as individual award, let's go with team. So 4th in the nation, as far as the team is concerned.
Ranking,
4th, right? 4th in the country, but the number 2 team from public schools.
Number 2 public school in the country, and we were, the team that won it, Milton,
right,
played like the Tuesday night after we played, and I was like, all right, we got a chance here. So, and it was tied going into like the 4th quarter, and but Milton pulled it out, and so they were crowned the public school national champions. Right. But I mean, I think that comes along with the teams that we played. I mean, like I said, like we mentioned, we played against 4 teams that were in the state championship. 2 of them won it. So and then it also starts with, where you start. Because a lot of that stuff's like where you start. Like if you're like
you're 16-7 or 102 or whatever.
Like if you start and you're like ranked 3,200.
Right. You're not.
26.
You may not make it to the top 25.
No matter who you play, what you do. So it'll be tough. So, but hats off to the kids. It's all about the kids and how they perform and the coaches and getting them ready. But that's pretty cool. Something that you don't really. That's not something one of your goals. Your goal is to win the next game. But
I try to equate it. Sometimes our fans,
it's flattering, I guess.
Yes, it is very flattering. Sometimes our fans, Max Preps, we're only 18, we're only this, we're only that. Well, when I said
did some people realize how many schools, high schools are in the country? There's not 18 states.
This is my spiel. Okay, I say 18 in the United States. Think about it. Okay. Now, after you think about that,
there's 18 schools in an 18-mile radius around here.
Right, and if you think we should be better than that, okay, because you think we're getting robbed by Max Preps or whoever it may be. Understand something: the bulk of those teams that are on that Max Preps list are IMG and Bishop Gorman and all these teams that are not really high school football teams in the right concept of it. And then you take that and you have the private school side of it where they can do a lot of things with
Right.
their offering the kids to come play. And then not to mention the talent pool that some of these schools come
Right.
out of. Los Angeles, California. This is not like you're the best team in Sarasota County, which we are, okay? But you say to yourself, wait a second, they're picking from talent as whatever they want, the best of the best. And you're, 18.
Right.
I'm like, when you see 18, I'm like, that's insane how that is. And then to be recognized as one of the top 2 teams as a public school is concerned,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
whole different level because you're playing against again, and that's every state has the private schools. It's not a Florida thing only. Michigan and Ohio,
Right,
they all
right.
got
Yeah.
all those teams you see
California,
and
yeah.
hear about. They're probably a private school.
Majority, yes.
So again, team accolades that's phenomenal, and it should never be. I get it. They want more for they think we deserve more. That's great. A fan base should be fanatics.
Right.
They should be like, we should be number one, that kind of thing. So I do appreciate it, but sometimes you got to give them a little bit of a reality check. Individual awards. 7A Player of the Year is
7A Player of the Year, Jamaris Gator Wilder.
Yep.
So I think he's the 5th player. Maybe we had Trey Smith,
Yep.
who was 5A Player of the Year. We had Matt LaRoche was a Player of the Year.
Right.
We had Ryan Brown, Player of the Year.
Bryce Carpenter was the whole state Player of the Year.
Right, and then Gator was a Player of the Year, and
Right.
Bryce was also a Player of the Year. But on top of that, Bryce won Mr. Florida
Mr.
Football.
Florida Football, yeah.
Gator, number 2.
Right. Well,
I mean, and it was like 136 to 116 in the voting. Like,
yeah. It's close.
and he didn't play 3 games.
And then that was going to say sometimes sometimes they want to see a gaudier number than they.
And it
maybe
would have
would've-
been gaudy.
It would have been really gaudy.
It would have been,
Yeah.
So all right. So Gator 7A Player of the Year. Winston Watkins,
2-way Player of the Year. You said
two-way Player of the Year
for the whole state.
for the whole state.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was offense, defense, and you could be 3-way Player of the Year because he
Special
played
teams,
special
yeah,
teams
yeah,
as well.
Yeah.
And then also while we're on that, like shout out to Ryan Downs. Like he got comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hats off to him.
Yeah.
Like,
No doubt. After what he went through.
Yeah.
I mean, it was heart wrenching to watch him get hurt
Yeah.
like that, and then to see him come back to it. So yeah, that kudos to him. That's a testament to hard work and what he did with him and his
Yeah.
family getting that stuff right.
Yeah, so that made me feel really good.
Yeah.
him having a good year and being able to finish out
Yeah,
and play.
absolutely.
That was really cool. Moving on, so offensive accolades. Obviously, we had the 7A. Gator was offensive player. Or no, Winston was offensive player of the year for 7A, and one of the all-state teams. Gator was all-state. Offensively, Al Oliver,
Right.
all-state. Winston on offense, all-state.
Right.
Is that it on offense?
I believe that would be it. Yes.
Yeah. On defense, we had Landon Marsters. We had
Ashari.
Charles.
Eli Jones.
I think so. I think
Okay.
Eli Jones.
We'll give it to him.
Yeah, Eli Jones. And then Bruno Royce, kicker.
Right.
So was that 7, 8?
Eight.
8 guys in the All-State team. The All-Area team hasn't come out yet for Sarasota Herald, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah. It'll come out soon.
Yeah. So lot of representation for our team. A lot of great performances this year. Winston had over 1,000 yards. Ryan Matulovic capped off a great career. He ended up
3-year
second,
starter.
I think second on the list of all-time receptions, yards, touchdowns, receiving, only behind
Javon.
which that probably will never ever be touched.
It's tough. That 1 year was just that was mind-boggling.
I can say like with pretty good confidence like no one's ever going to break that.
If they do,
Yeah.
we'll be in fine shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Jace Nixon did a great job all year.
How he, again, I talk about the defense improvement, but week to week, as he got more comfortable in the offense,
Yep.
the speed of the offense, the tempo of it, knowing where to go with the ball. He I think one time, maybe in the playoffs, once or twice, where he had like a 5-minute period where he looked a little
Right.
shook up. That's it. I didn't see it any other time. And you're rolling out against all other teams that can bring the heat.
Yeah, that's one thing that people don't realize. Like, we're talking about this. These are stats against the best in the state.
Best players, the best teams in the state. And so that I thought he was. I mean, just kudos to him, but to kind of, get his feet on the ground and just kept steady. Now, sometimes, I mean, that means so much when the guy who's calling the play seems to have everything in hand.
Right.
And it worked out. I think it worked out really well for him as well.
He did a great job. Macho, Dorian, Irving, Jones, like should be all state sophomore, all world sophomore. Like, there's not too many, to the things that he did throughout the year and the confidence that he built and the confidence that he built in me, like as a person calling the plays and as a person like responsible of like, hey, you're taking care of the football, because you never know. I mean, he's a freshman last year, and then you got Gator, who's was our 7A player of the year, and then so like you don't know what to do, and it's like, all right, well, dang, every time we put him in, he's doing this, he's doing well, and he ends up with almost 1,500 yards.
I know.
200 yards of, the whole game against Cocoa. He had to play the whole game against IMG. Kid had a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
A phenomenal year. And then, I mean, to think about, I mean, you just got to think about, like, the process in the future. So, you think about him next year, he's going to be 15 to 25 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
15 being the minimum, heavier.
And how much faster?
Yeah, and he's going to be faster. And then 25 maximum.
Right.
So he's going to fall somewhere in between there, and he's going to be faster. He's going to have more confidence in himself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, and he's going to be tougher and all that other stuff. And
there was one of those things like when the playoffs were going to start for high school football, like who players to watch, do this and do that.
It was him.
And he was the guy who had the most upside.
Yeah.
To be becoming a 4- or 5-star recruit, and I mean that's the backup. I mean, I'm not saying there's nothing. I'm not saying he's maybe he's 1B, but nonetheless he's the guy. He's the other guy, and he's the one they're saying, watch out, he's going to be a 4-star, 5-star running back.
I mean, he was just rotating. We're just rotating series.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so it wasn't like he's a backup. We had confidence in him, and he had confidence in himself, and just what a great year he had.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
So just happy for him, and defensively, Eli Jones gets a cap off his career and get a state championship.
He just got bigger every year too. He's a kid like I keep looking up, and he's taller and taller and bigger. So and again, everybody, like I said, again, the team gets a lot of accolades. It's always great with the individual awards, but I think ultimately the trophy is the pinnacle of the whole thing.
The trophy comes before that.
Right.
It's not the opposite way around.
Yeah.
A lot of people get that confused. Like, all right, well, I want to be all state, and I want to do this. And, well, trophy comes first.
Look how many guys get to be all state when you win the state championship.
Exactly.
It's amazing how those individual awards sort of come out. Hey, how many MVPs of the NFL didn't win a lot? That kind of thing. So it always works. All right, take one final break. Come back here to Bogies and wrap up the season for the John Peacock coach. So we'll talk a little bit about what's going on at Venice High School right now as far as new facilities and some things going on. So we'll talk a little bit about that and then wrap everything up. Be right back here at Bogies and the John Peacock Coaches Show right after this.
Thank you to our 2024 sponsors, Jenkins Chevrolet, the Hupp Group, Venice Pest Control, Sarasota Ford, Tervis Tumbler, Absolute Aluminum.
Last, we'll have to thank SCF, State College of Florida, Lightning Fast Car Wash, Bogies of Venice, and Chick-fil-A in Pelican Plaza.
Education, career, future. Find yours right here at the State College of Florida. If you want a flexible schedule with classes offered on campus and online, plus several program options for in-demand fields, look no further. Create your own path today at scf.edu. And
we're back here at the John Peacock Coach Show. And, Coach, like you said, season's over, and you're like, hey, I got to start 25. But what's happened at Venice High School was started, 2 days after the last home game against Miami Columbus. and
No, the day after.
Yeah, the day. Well, wasn't there a soccer game the day after?
Oh yeah, you're right.
So-
You're
so-
right. It started. You're right.
yeah,
you're
it's
right.
like start Monday.
It started Monday. Yeah,
So the old Venice Field grass is torn up.
it's gone.
We are looking at a new AstroTurf field, which I understand. For as sentimental as it is to be a Venice High School graduate and see that unbelievable grass field kind of go away, it's the sign of the times now because those fields are so multi-purpose. It's hard to maintain a field, and I think it's a money thing. And I think unfortunately the grass fields are going to be they're going away. Anywhere in the country you go to, it's majority artificial turf that you're playing on. But again, improvements to the press box and the grandstands as well. New bathrooms, new concession,
new press box.
Right.
Yeah. Everything in the stadium right now is gone.
Right.
Trees, bushes, buildings. The only thing there is the grandstand, and they're gonna add on to that. It's gonna have new concession, new bathrooms, new press box, new concession, new bathrooms on their visitor side.
Yep.
A new track.
New track.
A new scoreboard. The scoreboard will be opposite of this jumbotron, so we'll have a jumbotron,
Which is the old where it place
right,
used to be.
right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's going to be actually inside the track.
Yeah, but it's a little lower, but it's still on the. It's a self-standing. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing
But
around it. Yeah.
Before it was on the outside of the track.
Yeah.
This is going to be an inside of the track.
Right.
But yeah, excited to see how everything turns out. And moving forward, that's the way it's going to be, and it's going to it'll definitely be nicer for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, you don't. One thing you have to worry about when it's ready to go, the grass doesn't have to worry about the grass growing, or there being a problem with mud or whatever else.
Sprinklers
it may be.
coming on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
None of that stuff happens.
No
We get new
sprinklers.
goalposts too.
New goalposts.
Oh,
yeah.
there you
new
go.
goalposts, new soccer nets.
See all that stuff. So
new everything.
Yeah, and I think we were the last in line to get the new stuff. I think maybe because we're Venice
Gosh,
and we're
I think Riverview got theirs
4 years ago.
No, longer than that. Six,
Could be.
7 years ago.
They needed to. They're low.
I think 3 more years will be up for a new one.
Yeah, their field is in a hole by Philippi Creek.
Yeah, but it's nice now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So looking forward to seeing that. Everything should be ready by spring, are they saying?
Well, yeah, they're saying it's got to be ready by graduation, which is at the end of May.
Right. So they would.
I don't know if it'll be ready for spring. Hopefully, because I know our practice field is going to be trashed. Because they're playing soccer games on that thing now, and then who knows what's going to happen in lacrosse.
That's going to
if they're playing lacrosse practice and the games on it. Oh gosh,
it's going to be somebody's going to have to be a real grass wizard to get that looking right for.
It ain't going to be ready
practice
for. It ain't going to be ready for spring.
So with that again, you look forward to the next year. We talked about some of the players coming back. Obviously, the goals are going to be high again. You're going to have target on your back this year. Obviously, state champion, which you normally do. But once you have that state championship moniker on you, man, you make somebody's season when you can come in and try to put one on Venice.
Schedule's going to be pretty much the same. There's a chance that we're switching week 5, which was Coco, but nothing's 100% now about what we're doing there.
But again, looking forward to everything. And again, you're going to be in your 19th season.
Wow.
Next year.
Yeah.
So you say all those different things and you say to yourself, you still got the hunger, the kids still have the want to, and you're already in the gym, working out already. So 25 here we come. It's not going to be that much longer.
No, it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, again, congratulations to you. Congratulations to the team as well, all the coaches, the administration, and to the city of Venice in some ways.
Yeah.
We always sort of want to thank them for everything that they do.
Well, a couple more things before we go. One, we're gonna, we're looking for more sponsors for the show. We're gonna have, we're gonna have a little extended version next year. It's not gonna be so short. We're gonna extend it to 45 minutes to get a little more detail of our opponents and things like that. And also, we have the parade.
That's what I was going to go. Yeah, the parade.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So the parade. So everybody in Venice, come on, celebrate with us. February 15th. I don't know the time it starts. Do you know the time yet?
No, none of that's all in detail yet.
So it's usually late morning, going into afternoon.
Yeah.
And it's the Champions Parade, and we've had a few of those, obviously.
Also, we have state championship shirts. If you are interested in buying a state championship shirt, call the school. I think they're going to be selling them till like 4 to 6 p.m. this Friday at the front of the school.
And then I know eventually there's going to be something on an online perspective as well. I think that might be happening at some point in time. But yeah, and all that stuff goes towards, paying for those rings for those kids.
Yep.
So that's a big part of it as well. But the parade will always be a good time. Everything culminates with the gazebo and the band, and everybody will be there. So a lot of fun. It's always great. We've done it for the football team and the baseball and volleyball. Whoever's won state championships, it gets a parade. And we're fortunate to have that because we are Venice, and we have our little downtown with it's been there forever, and it gives everybody a chance to sort of show off a little bit.
Yeah, cool experience, cool for the kids. We had a pouty parade the last 2 years, so this will be a happy parade.
And this will be our opportunity for Francis tonight to have our first parade broadcast. We'll be live streaming.
Nice.
We'll start live streaming the parade, so we'll see how that works out. Could be a lot of just me talking about the parade.
The good thing we didn't live stream the pouty parade.
Yeah, no, that's no good.
Yeah.
That's a sad situation.
Yeah,
it's only about a 5-minute walk with your head down to
Yeah.
wherever you're going to eat that day.
Yeah.
So that's for sure. But yeah, please do that, and we'll probably be on YouTube on the Vibrant Aspect Media webpage to show the parade off. So tell your friends and neighbors that hey, you can get a good view of Venice. Hopefully, a nice, bright, sunshiny day, and maybe crisp day too. Maybe I wouldn't mind a little bit of that. So, Coach, again, congratulations, and thank everybody out there for watching the John Peacock Coaches Show.
Thank you. Thank Francis. Yep.
Put another state championship in this trophy in the trophy case and on to 25. With that, thank you again. For John Peacock, I'm John Masoni. Francis Haynes over there behind us. Wave, Francis. Wave with the camera. Oh, you can't. They can't see it. It's all right, though. But for Francis, thank you again. See you next year on the John Peacock Coaches Show.
What time is it? Game time. 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 Going beast mode when the game begin. I worked all summer to be a champion. At Venice High School, all we do is win. Man, it feel good to be an